Do you know why is Japanese rice so popular and delicious? And the history of Japanese rice. Let's start with the history. Japan actually didn't have rice. It what they ate fish, nuts, acorns, and wild plants before rice, and that was around Jomon period, thousands of years ago. It was around 310 BCE. It's kind of hard. But when rice came, a farmer discovered it in China. But not any China. It's from Yangtze River, a big, long river. That was when the history changed forever. Then the rice became popular in whole China. Then it spread to North Korea and South Korea. Then to Kyushu, Japan, the southern part of Japan. But why? How? Because around South Korean people started traveling. They went to Japan and they were eating rice all day in front of Japanese people who ate fishes, nuts, acorns their whole life. Or, of course, meat. Yeah. Then Japanese people tried it from the Koreans. They're like, this is delicious, but does have no taste. Does it have fat or something? So they're curious. Then they started eating. And that's how Japan's rice just spread everywhere. The 47 states of Japan spread everywhere. And Japanese people actually loved it. They have on their 3 meals. Japanese people literally eat rice and soup in their morning what can we call breakfast, and their lunch, and they eat it at dinner too. They're spread so much now they eat 3 times a day. And do you know, Japan's rice is the most delicious, expensive rice, because compared to other countries, Japanese rice is more expensive. Yeah, this place rice is so expensive. And that's why Japan's rice is premium and popular. And let me tell you what is the difference between other countries. There's 2 types of rice I'm gonna show you now. One of them is Japonica rice from Japan. Other is Indica rice from India, Thailand, parts of South Asia, and rest of the world. And the Indica rice is a long, not sticky rice and doesn't stick together easily and pretty hard. But Japonica rice, they're soft, actually pretty short compared to other ones, and sticky, of course, because the stickiness makes it perfect for chopsticks and making sushi, onigiri. That is the rice is main part of Japanese traditional foods. And the rice was originally used for making sushi, of course, to ferment, if you watched my other videos. And do you know what makes it so special of the Japanese popular rice? It's actually, but guess in the comments, where does the Japanese popular rice grows. 1. Niigata. 2. Saitama. 3. Hokkaido. Comment, guys. Just guess. And the answer was Niigata. Do you know why? Niigata in the summer, in daytime they're hot, like really hot, 28 to 35 degrees. Not Fahrenheit, but degrees, okay? Celsius. Not Celsius, degrees. Yeah. Then, at night, the temperature drops to 20 to 25 degrees. It gets a lot colder. Imagine you're coming from school at afternoon and feels like, oh, it's so hot. And you think the night will be much worse. And you realize when you sleep, you're like, why it's like a cold. My body's healing, so nice. That's how Niigata summer works. I want to go there. I want to feel the cold night in summer. And that makes it perfect for growing rice. Because at the sunlight, sugars and starches make the rice become tastier, sweeter. And night, the coldness locks the sugar and starches in place. So they always become sweet, doesn't fall off easily. That's how. And do you know what type of starches? Not any starch. There's 2 types of starch in rice. But let's start with the indica rice, the long rice from India or South Asia. These ones have actually amylase. Amylase. AMYLOSE. Amylose. Or you can say amylase. And that's what contains on indica rice. But Japonica rice, they contain amylopectin. A long name and hard. And that's what contains on Japonica rice. And do you know what's special about amylopectin starch? Because they make it stickier and a little bit sweeter. And what about amylose? They make the starch a little harder. Yeah, if you're Indian or Southeast Asian, you know what's the long type of rice, of course. And that's the 2 different meanings of rice. And do you know, Japanese rice is insanely popular because they're called the king of rice. A funny name. Why is it always funny? I don't know. And it was original from Yangtze River. Oh, I said that, I think so. But the long river. Very long. If you compare it with Nile River, the longest one in the world, it's like half of it. I think so. But it's still big. And that's the big story of rice. And if you're curious, when did it come? I already said 310 BCE. Yeah. And it's from China. And do you know what makes it special? Of course, you learned it. It's amylopectin. And of course, amylose. But how much? Japonica rice has more amylopectin and less amylose or amylase. But indica rice has less amylopectin, has more amylase. That's why. And that makes it good for curries and sushi, onigiri, Japanese foods, you can say. Okay, that's the end. Bye.